Right, okay, I'm so sorry about this. I think my audio is up right now. I'm so sorry about this, guys. So what's going on really here is hello. Can you hear me now? Hello? Yeah, you must be hearing now. Okay. So sorry about this, guys. For how long has the audio been going muted? Okay, no problem. So what I'm doing right now here is waiting for Forrest Walkai um, on the line to have a chat with him about evolution, and hopefully he talks to me, because last time I called him he did not receive uh, my call, because I think he got a little tilted when I spoke to him last time. And yeah, so we'll see. Hey Smokey, you know what, Smokey? I'm just waiting to catch up with this guy here online. He's, you know him, right? Forrest Walkai, a young lad on the line. I've spoken to him before, and I had a chat with him, and I think he became tilted thereafter, and he didn't really receive my calls afterwards that I made to him. So today I'm expecting him to talk on evolution. So we'll see. I'll wait here and see if he's willing to pick my call, and I will have it locally recorded. Then I will mix it up and I'll upload a video. But right now it's just live for you guys when I'm having conversation with him. You won't be able to listen to him. I think I debated him on MDD. Oh really? Modern day debates. Hey Smokey, I want to get to modern day debates somehow. If you can assist me get to these guys, because I'm not in America, and my channel doesn't even have as much subscribers. So if you can somehow assist me in debating, like for example, say David Wood. I want to debate David Wood on Islamic dilemma, for example. So if you can assist me in getting to have a debate with modern day debates, that'll be fantastic. Mm. You gotta email James. He isn't a friend anymore. Long story. Okay. So they will I mean, obviously I'm not in America, so still he would be able to conduct a debate, right? Like online, like just like it happens on StreamYard, and I suppose yes is the answer, but yeah. I will write to him. I'll write to him. So if anybody wants to join here, they're most welcome to. I think I will also begin my stream. I think it's a good idea to do that. And when Forrest Walkai talks to me, then I'll talk to him and ask you guys to wait. Yeah. So I mean, I will prepare the control room here, for example. So my control room is open right now. So if you guys want to hit the link and join in, you could do so. So if you're gonna come in, let me know that you wanna come in. Mm. So it's really interesting to talk to people where there's a lot of activity going on. For example, right now I see two different channels uh, populated, like tightly packed. One is the atheist channel, Forrest Walkey's channel, and the other one is the inspiring philosophy. And Smokey, I'm also interested to debate somebody in inspiring philosophy, like the main host or some of his guests. I'm wanting to debate him. I'm wanting to debate Christian apologists, basically, because they have some misunderstandings about the Quran, and I feel obliged to sort of debate them and engage them and see, if their evidence is foolproof, if their claims and assertions and arguments will stand. Um, you know, uh, I'm special in a way that I've studied the Quran a lot. Then I see a lot of the things that go on the internet as baseless. I even saw the debate that went on yesterday with David Wood and the other person, the Muslim guy, as tipping in favor of. I shouldn't say tipping in favor of David Wood, but I think the Muslim guy didn't really do a good job in deconstructing the Islamic dilemma, and therefore I believe I need to have the opportunity to talk to some of these guys. We'll see when it'll happen. I'm not quite sure at this point in time. You ever call Christian Prince? I think I called Christian Prince like 3 years ago, and I was trying to come to YouTube at that time, and I found him pretty uncivilized to be. I'm not meaning disrespectful, but the way he talked to me was like he literally allowed me no time to talk. And briefly, I mean, I spoke to him briefly, and then he cut me off. I'm like, I explained to him what the word Allah meant in Arabic, and he just cut me off, like without telling me anything. So I don't necessarily see a point of talking to Christian Prince. Christian Prince and Sam Shamoun, they are the most nasty people I think that they are there. And in my opinion, they bring a lot of bad name to Christianity. So that's just my opinion, and you might disagree with my opinion, but that's how I felt. I don't find Quran only a tough position to defend. No, Quran only is actually the case. I mean, I can understand the difficulty that you're coming from a traditional Muslim position, and because they believe in the hadith so much that it becomes, at least to comprehend it becomes difficult. But but the initial movement, the believers movement, and the rightly guided caliphs, up until like 30 years, they literally had no book of hadith. And even the caliphs themselves were disciplining people not to narrate on behalf of the Prophet. Like Omar is the most talked about caliph who seriously discouraged people to quote the Prophet. So the caliphs were real filters. They did not allow people to quote hadith on behalf of the Prophet, because they know the kind of damage it could do in the long run. So the caliphs of Islam, the initial caliphs of Islam, they were very, very spot on in preventing people from narrating hadiths. So early Muslims never relied on hadiths, for example. It's just the way after hundreds of years those hadith books were written, and then now after several hundreds of years, people have become accustomed to it, and they only do bad job when they go to hadith, because the hadith and the Quran, they contradict a lot. Every now and then, every turn of the page, they contradict. Hadith contradicts with the Quran. So, what do you expect me to do? Believe in the Quran or believe in the Hadith? That kind of thing. So, I'm not a fan of Catholicism. I like CP. I'm not happy with Sam defending Muslims and Christians worshipping the same God. So Sam supports the idea that Muslims and Christians worship the same God? Is that what you're telling me? I never thought that he would do that. I don't watch him because he's not my choice to watch. I kind of don't like the person Sam Shamoun, so I don't watch him as much. Like not at all, none at all, for example. And it's strange that he sort of subscribes to the position that Muslims have the same God. Obviously, you're telling me that you don't think that to be the case, and if he does, it's coming as a surprise. I don't know why he would do that, because all of his gang, which I mean, the other prop ups like God Logic and all of these sort of people who belong to him, they are of the idea that Muslims have a different God. So I don't know why Sam Shamoun could do that and not his students, his disciples don't do that. So I'm not sure. Because of Pope Danny will talk about it. Oh, okay. Okay, so he's obedient to the Pope, is he? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Guys, I can see a few of you are joining my stream. I got to let you know that I'm actually waiting on my phone here to talk to Forrest Wolkai. So Forrest Wolkai is currently on the line right now. So I'm waiting on the phone line to talk to him. I want to talk to him about evolution. And I have spoken to Forrest Wolkai before, and I think he got tilted thereafter, and he did not go on to receive my calls. A couple of calls I made thereafter. So I'm not quite sure if he's going to receive my call today, but I am waiting on the queue, all right? If he picks up the call, I'm going to talk to him about evolution. So, I debated, okay, pretty good, Smokey. If Muslims and Christians worship the same God, Muhammad is the greatest man to ever exist. Well, as Muslims, you would not actually do or draw comparisons between the prophets. The Quran discourages people to do that. And I wouldn't, as a Muslim, assert Prophet Muhammad was greater than Jesus or Moses. That's not something that we should be doing. That will go straight away go against the counsel of the Quran. So it's pretty dangerous to do things like that. I mean, I've done something on my channel. If you go on my channel, you will find a video called Muhammad Outclasses Jesus. I'm a scholar, by the way, so I know what I'm doing there. I'm not going against the Quran, so to speak. I'm only assisting the atheists to come and do textual criticism of the Quran, or even the Christians, for example. So my intentions are different as a scholar when I do such a video, like Muhammad outclasses Jesus. But as a Muslim, I wouldn't believe that to be true. We don't compare prophets. We don't discriminate between them. They have a position with Almighty God. Almighty God chose them, elect them for a purpose, for a mission, for a ministry, for a ministerial service. We are not to differentiate between them. So Quran strictly warns against that in a few different places. So I'm pretty astonished. in the amount of people that watch these shows, these atheist shows, and also other shows. As I can see here, there's Inspiring Philosophy has 1.7k people watching, and Atheist The Line has 1.9k people watching. So they lead by like 200 people watching them live. So atheism is really catching up in America, and I think, Smokey, you know what I believe? I think Christians are partly responsible for this trend, because Christians go further away from what is factual about Christ. So when that happens, a lot of people actually quit religion and they migrate towards other forces. And well, I feel bad. So sorry, excuse me. I feel bad for Americans, young people especially. Can't help it, can you? So I think Americans somehow are responsible for failing their nation. I don't know. They're doing everything wrong. And foreign wars, diplomacy, screwing up international diplomacy and economics. I think the problem with Americans is capitalism. They rely on capitalism so much that the democracy is basically sold for pennies at the hands of capitalists. So what that does is it really hijacks the system of justice, fairness, and compassion, and it derails an entire nation. So capitalism is pretty bad. It's an evil force, but somehow Americans do not know how to do democracy without capitalism, unfortunately. And in my opinion, they might need some help from the Quran or from the advices of Prophet Muhammad, to set up a proper governmental system. But it basically requires looking at an entirely different paradigm to what they have currently in place, which is very difficult to abandon, because capitalists are in control. They control the keys in America, and literally, if anything is acting against their interests, they would shut it out. So basically, Americans are living in times where when their country is being held hijacked. It's sort of held as what is the word? Hostage. Hostage is the word. So I believe that's where America is at this point in time. So Smokey, if you're still there, I would like to know from you, what do you think of the debate that David Wood had yesterday on Islamic dilemma? What is your opinion? I mean, you want to let me know in the chat, or do you want to come in and join the control room and have a chat about it? I didn't catch most of it. Okay, so what I'm saying is, I basically forgot what I was talking before, but what I'm saying right now is, what did you feel of the debate that happened yesterday between David Wood and the other Muslim guy on Islamic dilemma? What is your position? Just interested to know. I mean, if you want to type that out in the chat, or do you want to, I can probably pop in after you are done with your atheist toy. He's a fantastic guy. I like him, Forrest Walkai. He's a fabulous guy. I mean, as long as he's not afraid of talking to me, he's fabulous. But I think he tilted in my previous chat with him, so I'm not really sure whether he has the courage to talk to me on this occasion. But we will see. I mean, he's a lovely guy to talk to. I really enjoy the energy that such people bring to the table. Like, I really enjoy to engage with such people. Like Forrest Walker is a fantastic talker, I suppose. He talks pretty good. But yeah, I'm not sure whether he will take my call, but we'll see. Mm. Oh my goodness, I'm feeling sleepy out here sitting and waiting for these guys. It's been going on for how long now? I've been waiting for 1 hour, 10 minutes. 1 hour, 10 minutes waiting. Like, it's a long wait. It's a long wait for to get to these people. If I'm like famous, if my channel gets like 100,000 subscribers, then it'll be a lot more easier to get to these guys, right? Like right now, they wouldn't care because I don't even have 100 subscribers, for example. So they wouldn't give a damn to talk to me. But if I had like 100,000 subscribers, they would immediately talk to me and arrange um, entirely timed debates and things like that, which I would want to do with them because it's all interesting. Some of the books that I've written are not even spoken of. Like I've got a book on creation of planets and the skies and everything, and I've got a book on biology, which basically I wrote as a response to the text that I read of Jerry A. Coyne, Why Evolution is True. I got super impressed with that book. Then when I finished it from cover to cover, I had ideas of how to respond to that notion of evolution by natural selection. So yeah, it's all out there, and I just need people to interact with me. So I'm just waiting. If Islam is true, then Christianity is true. If Christianity is true, then Islam is false. Is that the argument? I don't know. I mean, the argument that he laid out was quite slightly different. He's like, if the Gospels are true, then the Quran is false, and if the Gospels are false, then still the Quran is false. So conclusion, Quran is false. That was his argument, and I thought it was funny the way he did it. It was pretty childish, like childlike argument, because he pulls verses out of context from the Quran, and he sort of has an ontological approach in understanding how the Quran confirms the earlier scriptures. So he comes from the ontological approach, and he dismisses the context where God sort of goes and declares, the scriptures have been changed, and he sort of assumes that to be an ontological argument, and he forgets the episteme of the text, like the context and stuff like that. He just gave it a different order. I think in a different way. He didn't say Islam or anything like that. He said Gospels and the Quran. So that's a very precise argument or logical argument. So the argument that's happening right now on the line is Forrest Walker goes and says, "Oh, we have been forced to exist by this all-powerful God, and as such, he should take all responsibility and not show us into hellfire." So that's how Forrest Walker is arguing at this point in time. that infinite virtue is perfect. Why are we so poorly designed? So the fans are. Oh my goodness. There's the tree of what? This. It's because he's a professional educator. Adam is terrible analogies because he's a Christian. How do we change Adam? Oh my goodness, it's a long wait. It's a long wait. My ear's busting now with the sound, with the audio in my ear. I don't like these earphones in my ear. So okay, guys. I don't know what to say. It's a boring stream, I suppose. Might be a boring stream for you guys to be waiting here and. I mean, if you want to have a chat with me, just hop on. We'll chat, and when Forrest Walkai calls me, and I'll briefly chat with him, and get back to you. But yeah. Bretkian music and entertainment. I am in the stream. Oh, you're in the stream, Brett. Okay. Brett, yeah, just bear with me. Like, I don't see you here. Like, I don't see you here. Did you hit the right link? Sort of link? Okay, just bear with me. Copy. And I'll repaste the link. Can you, Brett, please reuse the link that I just supplied? So I'm sorry about that. Maybe that link isn't working. So can you please use the link that I've supplied right now? Okay, Brett, I can see you now. You're here with me. And I'll need to pull in your audio. Just bear with me. You're in right now, Brett. But you haven't come in with your audio, Brett. I can't hear you. You have not selected the speakers. You have to like disengage and do it again, I suppose. I'm talking. I can't hear you because you have not come in with your audio. You have to come in with your audio. So you can hang up and rejoin. Still, I think you haven't come with your audio, Brett. You need to select the right audio option to join in. I've used Ninja and podcast many times. It's you, dude. Okay. But I don't see your audio come in for some weird reason in Ninja. Your audio is not coming in Ninja. Request. So I'm so sorry that for this inconvenience, but I don't really see your audio here for some reason. It's pretty weird. It's pretty weird. I'm so sorry about this, Brett. Maybe just check the audio option when you're joining in. No, it's not coming in with your audio. Your audio is not coming in. The thing flashes up, but without audio. So you have to check your audio option, I suppose. Yeah, now it comes through. Now it comes through. Right.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, absolutely, I can.
I don't know what happened to you there, guy. That's unbelievable. I just refreshed about 100 times. That seemed to work.
Mm.
Let's see. So you were wanting to discuss evolution, huh? I'm trying to find out if we evolved from rats or not.
Do you want to discuss evolution with me?
Well, that's why you opened the room, right, to discuss that. We can talk about anything you like, but if
You
you
know
want
what's
to
really
talk
happening
about
is, Brett, is I'm
what's
waiting
up?
here for Forrest Welker. You know this guy? Have you seen him,
Yeah.
Brett?
What's his name?
His name is Forrest Welker. He is currently having a stream and around 2,000 people watching him. I've spoken to him before, and I want to speak to him on this occasion because he's talking about evolution. And once I finish with him, then I'll talk to you. But now we can talk because I'm waiting on the line. Can you see here on my earpiece? I've got an earpiece and I'm waiting for him.
Well, apparently you don't. It doesn't look like you got me up on screen, or
I have gotten you here on the screen. That means your video has not come through. So you're doing just the audio, are you?
I suppose. I mean, I got my video set up, but I think you have to. Let me see.
No,
How's
your
that?
video is not coming in. Your video doesn't come in.
Oh, so who are you? You're trying to get the atheist experience people or the heathen folks?
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, the
well,
the the line. It's called the line.
oh yeah, I've talked to them before. They're pretty rude. Have you ever had discussions with atheists online before? I know you said you know a few friendly ones personally, but they're a lot different online.
I did talk to American atheists on the line before, and the atheist experience. They are pretty rude, but I mean, I want to get to them. You know what I mean?
I understand. Why do you feel like Islam is a religion that saves people?
I believe Islam saves people, Christianity saves people, Judaism saves people, and also non-Abrahamic position of just having faith in Almighty God saves people too. So I've got a very versatile salvific doctrine that comes from the Quran. I subscribe to that. And I'm fond of talking to people who challenge me. So I'm fond of talking to atheists because they are the staunch challengers. I find Christian arguments really weak, to be honest. To be honest with you, not that I want to be disrespectful, but for me, the Christian arguments are easy to dissect and refute. But atheists have some substance. Like right now, I can hear Forrest Welker accusing God of being this powerful entity that forcefully creates us beings, and then forcefully makes us behave in a certain way. And if we do not obey, then forces us into hell. So that's a very powerful argument that I want to be dealing with.
Hmm.
Atheists I kind of like them. You know what I mean?
Well, there's some Christians that actually think that way too, like Calvinists and the ones who are into predestination. I personally think we have free will, though. I think we get to choose. It's weird what you said about Christians having weak arguments. There's some arguments I've heard by Christians that are pretty good, but there's also arguments I've heard from Muslims that I tend to use when in discussions. I've heard some good Muslim arguments.
So what? I mean, I do understand the arguments also differ from apologist to apologist or person to person. I don't like using the word apologist, so I'll just use person. So, yeah, even the Christian side of the argumentation really depends on the type of person that you talk to and the knowledge of the person. And I'm sure there is some very good Christian people with fantastic knowledge and wisdom. I'm not ruling that out, but at the same time, because I'm aware of the doctrine so much, like the Abrahamic religions. So
Right.
the Christian argument doesn't really sort of impress me. An exclusive Christian argument doesn't impress me. If I want to say that accurately, an exclusive Christian only argument does not impress me because
Well, I'm
there's.
not. I'm not talking about arguments for the Bible or for the Quran. I'm talking about when Muslims or Christians are arguing in a scientific way for the existence or philosophical way for the concept of God actually existing. Those are the arguments that really, I think, are the most powerful. Because once you can get an atheist to admit that there's something out there, a higher power, then everything's uphill from there. You know.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean those kind of debates are certainly interesting for sure. And if it start talking about evolution, I'm sure it's going to be interesting to a lot of people here right now. But yeah, but I'm just waiting for this guy to finish with me. But they're just grinding someone at the moment online on the phone.
Oh, they'll take their time with that.
I've already been waiting for
Hopefully, they
like
didn't run into the
close to
same
1.5 hours
problem that I
now.
did. Hopefully, they didn't run into the same problem as I did. Because I like you, I'm patient and I endure
Absolutely,
technical
I appreciate
difficulty.
that. Mm.
But they might have came in and said, "Oh, to hell with this." They couldn't get a hold of you for 20
No, I'm
minutes
talking
and
to them on the
decided,
phone. Can you see the earpiece in my ear? I'm
"Oh,
on the
I did
phone.
not realize you."
I'm on the
Oh,
phone.
you're on hold with them.
Yeah, I'm on the line, and they are talking to someone else. Like I can show you here. I'll pull the
Oh,
screen up here.
I believe you. I know how they do things.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
probably going to spend the next 20 minutes doing that. Luckily, I came in, or it would have been a very lonely experience, huh?
Well, thank you for coming in. It's pretty cool to have you here. And yeah, I mean, I'm already been waiting for 1.5 hour. Like it's a pretty long wait.
Well, while we're waiting on these fine champions of intellect, why don't you tell me your view of evolution? I suspect that a Muslim who believes that Allah created us out of clay or out of the ground is not going to believe that he comes from rats. Am I right?
So, um, what is the last point you made?
I said I suspect that because you are a Muslim and you believe that God created us from the materials of the earth, you probably don't believe that we evolved from ancient rats, correct?
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Certainly, certainly. I hold the position that you just um, explained. I, I do believe that God created human beings from the earth, so that's our beginning. So that's the view that I subscribe to, and
Right.
yeah, I've, I've I've written a book on it. In fact, so
Right. So you definitely believe that God designed us already human, that we weren't originally an amoeba or a fish floating around in the ancient oceans, right? That crawled up on land.
yeah, I don't think that to be the case.
Yeah, me neither. It sounds too dumb. You'll notice when talking to people, especially atheists online, they're pretty confident about it. But if you ask them how they know or what their evidence is that we actually existed in the ocean under a transition, they won't be able to give you anything, and they shouldn't, because there's no fossils for
Mm,
the simple organisms, right? There's nothing they're going to be able to find.
mm. Yeah, sure. I mean, as I said in the past, I did interact with atheists quite a lot, and as a result of my interactions, I wrote the books that I wrote. And you're absolutely right. But the moment you start drilling them down, um, they would soon run out of answers, and you would see them stammer just like people of religion when they don't know stuff and are being questioned by atheists stammer. You know, so
Well, I
everyone.
myself, you may not know this about me, but I was a former atheist for a long, long time on social media. And I used to argue evolution, religion, everything under the sun.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
I used to be in their camp and all that. So I know all their arguments and their games that they like to play.
Mm,
It's sad that you got a hold of the atheist experience on the line one, though. These guys are pretty rude. You should have
mm,
probably sought out some other atheist.
mm. Waiting on the line for almost 90 minutes, and my currency currency perhaps may run out.
So let me ask you
Be
something. When
sure.
you called, it asked you what your theology was, right? It asked you what your name is, where you're from, and what your belief is.
Yeah.
Hmm. So they tend to like to pick on Christians. They don't usually will answer the phone for a Jew or a Muslim. So if you ever do get picked up, it'll be a miracle.
So I apologize again, and can you please rephrase your question for me, because I was just typing a message here. I'm sorry.
So when you call the atheist experience, or the line that they call themselves, they usually have an answering machine or a secretary ask, "What is your theology? What is your position?
Yeah.
Where are you from? What's your name?" All that.
Yeah.
If they find out that you're a Muslim, they're going to put you as a last priority along with Jews. They
Ah,
usually only
okay.
enjoy picking on Christians.
You might be right. But on the first occasion when I called them on atheist experience, they in fact gave me um, they in fact gave me the opportunity to interact with them. I was down the line in the queue. They pulled me up and they said, "Oh, someone is calling from Australia." Maybe they did not know that I was a Muslim at that point in time, so they thought because of my name, Prophet Daniel, they might have thought I was a Christian. So they gave me
Yeah.
the opportunity and I talked to them. And after that, they have not been picking my phones. I've called them a few different times after that, but they have not given me a shot.
Yeah, I got a couple of shows recorded where I called the atheist experience. I got them mad at me. They called me all kinds of cuss words, yelled at me.
Yeah.
It was good stuff. If you ever get bored and you want to hear them lose their mind, I'll give you the show links if you want.
Certainly. Certainly. Oh my goodness, these guys are like, going on, grinding somebody on the phone. And I'm not even sure
Yeah.
that he's going to pick my phone. Mm.
So, just out of curiosity, because you had mentioned one of the things they were arguing about people being forced to be created and all that. That's interesting. That's usually an anti-natalist argument. I
Hmm.
have a question for you. Do you believe in pre-existence? I've met some theists who believe in pre-existence.
I don't believe in pre existence. I think that's very ad hoc approach to understanding the scriptures. Um, I mean, I believe that some Christians may think, that's the sort of view that comes in the Old Testament, especially when they quote the story of Moses and Pharaoh, how God was like hardening Pharaoh's heart and preventing him from having faith. But that's a very simplistic or an autistic approach to understanding scriptures. But I think all of these religions, no matter which religion, when God has given us the option of choosing between the right and the wrong, that itself explains that there is freedom of choice. For people to make a choice between what they want to do, whether they want to tell a lie or they want to speak the truth. So I think the assertion that God is a very deterministic God and hasn't really given us free will and has predetermined all outcomes until we reach paradise or hell, it's a nonsensical idea, and it's a very autistic idea of the scriptures. I don't believe that. I don't believe any truth to be there, because we always. I mean, if there was truth to that, then God would not have had if and then statements in the communication He makes with us, because the use of that verbiage and logical gateways in the scriptures is self-explanatory. That God is not a predetermined. God does not operate on a predetermined model with human beings. You know what I mean?
Well, I understand that. I'm a compatibilist. I do believe certain things are predetermined and scripted, but I believe that there's enough framework for mankind to have human choice.
Mm. Yeah, sure. So that's a pragmatic approach. I think it's the most modest approach. I think it's a justified approach, I suppose. I should say it in this manner, because any extreme you go becomes unjustified. So I think the position that we just agreed upon is the most justified position about predeterminism and determinism. Call what you may, but human beings have a choice, and God is not responsible for the choices we make. But of course, we do have a framework to work within, and that framework, obviously, for human beings is limited, because limitations stem from various aspects. We have our own anatomical limitations. Nonetheless, that doesn't really preclude the freedom of thought. So our anatomy has its limitations, not that our intelligence has limitations. We just need a lead, and we can dream and imagine without limits. Boundless imagination is possible with our intellect and faculty, but anatomically we have limitation, and environmentally we have limitation, because we're limited to a home, a planet Earth we call it. So we operate within this predetermined framework, so to speak. But our choices, our intelligence, our intellect, that's something where free will reigns supreme. And what I would say is, life is a game of chess, and every move you make will take you closer to victory or a loss. And on the chessboard that we have, 8 square times 8 squares, on the rows and the columns, in 8 by 8 metrics, the probabilities on that board unfold in billions and billions of permutations and combinations. They result in like billions of independent moves. And imagine our brains. They're far more complex than a game of chessboard, or the world that we live in, the environment that we live in, and the interactions that we have with our environment and our species and the rest of what surrounds us in the natural world. You can imagine the freedom to exercise our free will. It's huge, and within this framework, every move we make, every thought we sort of perceive, every speech making that we make or utter, and every action we do basically determines the outcomes with our eventuality, like, you know. So that's why God promises us, better outcomes if we followed His path. So He guides us on His path, and that's how things work.
Well, how do you argue against it? Obviously, I'm open to free will as well as predestination based upon the scenario as a compatibilist. But for you, knowing that God has the attributes of omniscience, omnipresence, all-knowing, all-powerful, how do you get the free will in there with your view?
So the all-knowing nature of God does not preclude or does not determine outcomes that have not been determined by us who possess free will. So, in order for God to become knowledgeable, we have to first perceive our thoughts. So, God becomes knowledgeable of those thoughts. And we have to be able to perceive ideas and plans, or, a course of action. So, God then becomes aware of our perceptions, our inner thoughts. So, that's how God is all knowledgeable. So the proposition that God is knowledgeable of what I will think tomorrow is a false is a fallacy. So because I have not seen tomorrow, I don't know the scenario that emerge tomorrow. As such, God does not determine my outcome for tomorrow. So to speak, you know what I mean? Did I clarify that, or do you have? Are you thinking about it? What's going on?
You still there, guy?
Yeah, yeah. I was not able to hear you. Now it's all right. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry about that. I muted my mic. I didn't want to interrupt you while you were going through your explanation. So, you
Gotcha.
believe God knows our thoughts, which I believe is to be true. Do you believe that God knows the future?
It's again, what's the framework of knowing the future? Like, for example, God knows of the future, what He has planned Himself, but in terms of what is going to happen tomorrow, for example, say how hot the sun is going to beat on Earth, for example. I think those are the sort of things that God is aware of, because He forecasts quite handsomely. But if you ask me, what is God aware of my plans tomorrow, for example? If God is aware of whether I'll choose to eat a toast or um, a smoothie, for example, in my breakfast, then I wouldn't necessarily say God is aware of it, because I have not yet made my decision, for example, right? So once I make my decision, okay, I want to have a smoothie or I want to have a toast, then God becomes aware of it. You know what I mean?
Right. You probably realize that your typical atheist would probably argue, well, doesn't God know if you're going to eat that toast or not?
Yeah, I mean that's fair enough. Yeah, God, I would say God doesn't really predict that. Obviously, God predicts the options that I have at home. Like, God knows about the options I've got at home, right? So God knows what potentially can be my breakfast. But until I've made my choice, God does not go and sort of predetermine it, right? Do you get my point?
Right. Right. I get you. I believe that there's a difference between God knowing something and God making something happen. That's
Yeah,
how I
yeah,
usually argue it.
yeah. And
So you do realize
God
that you
can
are the
make things happen
first
too.
Muslim. You do realize, Daniel, that you are the first Muslim I have ever heard actually say that he wanted to save people. I've never heard a Jew or a Muslim ever speak those words. I've heard some Christians say that, but most of them usually tell me they'd rather me go to hell. But that's a different story.
So you've never heard a Muslim say God wants to save people?
I've never heard them. I've been in a lot of Muslim rooms before. They usually argue about the Trinity. They don't like the idea of God coming down as a man type of concept, and I get it. But their main issue is they never seem to. I've never heard them say anything about salvation or wanting to save my soul, any of that. You're the first one out of 20 years of being in social media, the first Muslim I've ever heard say that you're concerned about my soul. I appreciate that. That makes me feel good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I appreciate that compliment too. But that's just the case. I mean, God wants to save people from day one because I think that's how it is. Like, God created us out of love, and we are His beloveds, and He wants a good future for us. But the condition that He created us in,
Yeah,
so
you there?
the condition that He created us in requires um, requires that good and bad apples be sorted out, because He created us with the capacity to do evil and with the capacity to do good. So if He let us live for eternity straight away, then evil people would continue to do evil for eternity, and they would not be judged, or there would not be justice if he let us be living for eternity, having not had a test to determine who's a good guy, who's a bad guy, who deserves eternal life, who does not deserve eternal life. So that assessment is justified assessment, and we are worthy of reaching eternal life. And if we don't, it's our own folly that we don't, because even after being blessed with such faculties, like for example, it's this way. I mean, you say F-35 fighter jet that America has. If it can't shoot a missile at a target and burn it down, what's the point of having an F-35 jet, for example? Right? So it's condemned. So it's the same thing. God has given us the faculty so profound that you don't find a match in the entire world, and then we go on to make a fool of ourselves. We go on to speak false and speak lies and cause damage, hurt other people, and disbelieve in the truth of God's existence, our Creator, and try to make up stories from nothingness, as if we got automatically made. Not even a pencil gets automatically made. So after having blessed with this faculty, the misuse of that faculty and deliberate lying deserves punishment with God, because God is like, oh, I gave you this. What's the point? I mean, that's exactly what we would do to an F-35 jet, for example. If an F-35 jet sort of does not do the job, we would dismantle it and burn it up in the foundry to manufacture and to utilize materials for different business, for example. So we would destroy that too. So it's as simple as that. I mean, God gave us this capability, the faculty, and we deserve thanksgiving. We are.
You still there? You didn't
Yeah,
cut
yeah,
off, did
I'm
you?
here. Looks like they're having a change of. They might get to me now. Just bear with me. It's 2 hours of waiting already, Brett. I've been waiting for 2 hours here.
I'm sorry to hear about that,
So,
man.
so looks like
If I would have known you were going to do this show, I would have came in 5 minutes into it to let you know that this would probably be the case and hang out with you so you wouldn't be lonely.
oh, so kind of you. So looks like they're getting to the next caller, but I'm not sure.
Well, just give me a secret word so I know to be quiet whenever they finally
They are
answer. Go.
pretty they rant a lot. Like they talk to themselves a lot after they
Yeah, they like a good monologue.
yeah, after they speak
So
to a
while we're
person.
waiting, so while we're waiting for these intellectual giants, you had some questions about music.
Well, I did. I was interested to know. I was interested to know whether you sing actually, because I write songs as well.
I used to sing. I also used to play guitar and do a lot of the different instruments in the band. Nowadays, I do keyboards and I stay away from the singing part. I'm almost 50 years old now, a couple of years away from being 50, and I don't have the same good singing voice I used to. And I like to do music that has a lot of octaves and a lot of emotions and arrangement. So I get other people to do the singing. Sometimes I'll play guitar, but a majority of the time is keyboards. Lately, I've been goofing around with not only instruments and singers and all that, but I've also been using AI in some of my editing to make the music more powerful sounding.
Mm, mm. That's pretty good. I mean, I heard some of the songs that you have, but I think that most of your songs have the same sort of music at the background. So,
Well, the first album's it's kind of, I wanted something that could have a lot of radio airplay type of tracks that wouldn't have any argument or hesitation to be played on radio. And the second one was a little bit more heavier and all that. The third one was more of experimental.
mhm.
But the last one I'm about to release, which will be definitely my last in music altogether, is more of a really, really heavy thrash type of. It's a metal type of album. The other
Mm,
ones were slow rock, blues, country, that kind of stuff.
mm, mm. Sorry that I didn't pay attention to the fact that what you said on whether you sing. So you do really sing yourself?
I used to sing a lot whenever I was younger, whenever I was doing music with my brother. But
Mm,
nowadays, I do mostly keyboard and I bring in vocalist. Or also, my brother, he plays guitar.
mm. Fantastic, yeah, fantastic. Because I've been writing some songs, but I'm not sure what to do with them. Like the guys, they migrated to talking to another person. So what I'll do is I'll probably cut the call and I'll probably cut the call and just talk to you.
That sounds like a plan. I don't suspect they'll answer anytime soon if you already told them you were a Muslim.
Mm,
I'm sorry. If I had any control over the phone call, I would have answered for you right away. They're jackasses. What are you going to do?
crime,
You and I can
biology.
discuss music if you want.
I'm just typing out a last message to him. All right.
Sure.
So just won't be too long. I'm Muslim. Wish to discuss, debate, Wakai, or anyone else. Check out my channel and let me know what you think. Okie dokie.
All right. So you're trying, do you have your music recorded?
No, I haven't recorded it. So I haven't recorded it.
But
It's not music. I mean, I don't do music. I'm just done lyrics as of now. So I may look forward to converting that into music. But I'm not a good singer as you are. Like you are a real good singer. I heard you sing, and I kind of liked you. Like you know how to get your voices correct. Because I'm not English, so obviously I may not do a good job singing English songs. But you are a good singer. I heard you sing, and I thought you were a good singer.
You must have listened to my older music then.
They're even better. Even better? Do you think?
Well, I like my older music, obviously, but I'm definitely more promoting the newer stuff with the newer singers. I appreciate what I was able to do in the past, but I know my limitations. So nowadays, I just promote the music I do with others.
You know what happened? You know what happened? They cut me down. They cut me out. They cut me out. I wasn't even cutting them out, right? They cut me out. How good is that? How good
I'm
is
sorry
that?
that happened to you, guy.
How good is that? I don't like this of them. After waiting for
Yeah,
two
yeah.
hours, calling from a different country, after waiting for a couple of hours, they cut me out. They could have cut me out before and told me not to call. Unbelievable.
Like I said, they like picking on Christians. They don't really like playing with the Muslims.
I mean, they are atheists. They shouldn't really be afraid of Muslims. There's no point in being afraid of Muslims.
Well, they don't know the Quran very well. They like to
Ah,
pick on. See,
gotcha.
a lot of the guys that are on that specific show, they claim to be former Christians, self-proclaimed former Christians. So they like to pick on Christians, and one of the big reasons why is a majority of the people on that show. I'm not saying this to be mean, but they're homosexuals, admittedly, and they want to attack Christians over that. Do you understand?
Yeah. Okay. They're out and about, and we can talk, Brett. So,
All right.
how are you
So
doing,
do
Brett?
you
What's going
you
on?
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
here.
Did you see the debate that happened yesterday between David Wood and the other Muslim guy?
No, I didn't get an opportunity to check that out. I was hanging out with my wife all day, binge watching some TV shows about a lawyer.
What do you think of David Wood? What I mean, he's been there for a long time, evangelizing and preaching. What do you make out of him, David Wood?
Well, the first time I seen him, I watched like an hour-long video that he made on a train where he's telling his testimony, and I found that to be fascinating. I watched a few of his videos. Lately, I haven't watched much of him or anybody else as of these days. A lot of people are just saying the same thing over and over.
Mm, mm, mm. So, I mean, like if I want to get into specifics of how David Wood does the job, I don't necessarily see him as a respectful person. How do you perceive him?
Well, when it comes to Islam and Muslims, he definitely doesn't seem to show much courtesy, that's for sure. I can agree with you on that. But I think that he feels in his heart that he has to be that way in order to make a point against Islam.
Really? Do you think? Because I think I believe I make good points even without being insulting of others. Um, like for
Well,
example,
I was saying from his perspective, I'm not saying that I agree with the way people argue all the time on the internet. I'm just
Mhm.
saying that's how I figure he sees it.
Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, I mean, I'm not impressed with him. I believe he could have done better service to Christianity because after him, really, it spiraled out. a lot of the young preachers that come to the internet, they also become vile. They in fact end up doing more than what he's done, because they take encouragement from such people. And I don't know whether you know of Ahmad Didat, a Muslim guy who was preaching in the 19 early, you can say, or late 1900s, like 1990, 1995 ish. He made just before the turn of the century. He made a lot of visits to America. His name is Ahmad Didat. Have you heard of him?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, I respect him a great deal, but I did not. I don't like. I don't feel like copying his style, because I believe his style was a little um, militant, militant kind of attitude, militancy kind of attitude.
Abrasive?
Sorry,
Abrasive?
what?
Abrasive?
Abrasive. You can say that. Yeah, you can say that. Abrasive. Yeah, you can say that. But do you know of Zakir Naik?
Uh, Not good with names. I have to see faces in order to remember.
Okay, okay. So basically, I don't like that kind of attitude in. I don't like rough attitude in preaching, even if it be from Muslim preachers, for example. And I don't necessarily see, a hate. I believe Christians naturally have hate to Islam. Not everybody. I'm not making a very blanket assumption. I know, and I've met people who are Christians who are very respectful, who have no qualms with Prophet Muhammad being a prophet, but they remain Christian. I've met all sorts of people. They're very good natured people who also maybe believe in Trinity, but they would not believe in disrespecting Prophet Muhammad, for example. But yeah, I can see the good behavior coming from people like for example yourself. But at the same time, I have come across people who've been really disrespectful, and it was not something that sort of helped them in preaching or evangelizing. More often, only results in negative outcomes. It destroys their reputation in Muslim among Muslim listeners. For example, as a Muslim listener, I wouldn't want to listen to people who are vile. Actually, they could have made points being civil, but it's choice is those choices that people make basically. And but nonetheless, I mean, I would want to interact with David Wood, um, to see how he goes in a debate with me, because what he deals basically is with Muslim people who are traditionalists, like who believe in a lot of hadith, narrations and uh, literature. But I come from the Quran only paradigm, and I don't like the idea of hadith dictating meaning on the Quran. In fact, Quran should determine the context and determine the meaning, not the other way around. So it'll be interesting to have a conversation. I'm sure if I keep going at YouTube, my channel is gonna grow one day, and if my channel grows, people like God Logic and David would feel obliged or compelled to talk to me. At this point in time, they don't want to talk to me. Like God Logic, for example, I can't even go on his stream. As soon as Prophet Daniel sort of account goes onto his stream, he sort of cancels it out or completely blocks me out. Right now, I can't even click on his StreamYard link, for example. Even if I clicked, it wouldn't let me in, for example. So he's blocked me.
Well, I
So,
could I could hook you up with somebody that's got almost 100,000 subs that actually knows God Logic and David Wood. I mean, if that's an interest of yours, I can get you hooked up to talk with them if you want.
I mean, absolutely, I'm all for it. And if you want to host a debate, That'll be fantastic. Like, if you want to moderate a debate, I mean, I would be the happiest person. For example, like you can moderate a debate, me and God Logic, or David Wood, or Inspiring Philosophy, or any of those
Well,
guys.
before doing that, we'd have to see how you do with a guy that's got about 100,000 subscribers named Brother Maverick. Now, what I could do is once I get you to have a discussion with him and you guys go back and forth, I can send the video over to David Wood as well as the other fella, God Logic,
Mm,
and see if they'd be interested in going with you. But you gotta take the baby steps first. Now,
gotcha.
Brother Maverick, he's no easy guy though. He does have 100,000 subs, a huge Christian fan base.
Yep.
So I could talk to him and probably get something going within the week if you're interested.
Absolutely, I'm 100% in favor of it, and I would appreciate it from you, and I would also appreciate that from Brother Maverick. Yeah.
All right, let me open up my Google phone real quick, and I'll let him know that you'd be interested in doing that. I need a good time for both of you.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay, let me open this up. Okay. Hold on.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, he should respond back to me while I'm still talking to you, so I'll be able to give you a response. I'm pretty sure he'll be happy to do it because he's done shows where he's debated Christians and Muslims and all that kind of stuff. And you'll like him because he's not like David Wood and the other one. He won't get all rough on you and all that. But I
Mm-hmm.
will be honest with you, he knows a lot. He has studied and researched the religion, so if he feels as though you're saying something that doesn't work right with him, he will let you know. He'll jump all over you for that, but he won't cuss you or call you names or anything. He's just kind of intense. I hope you're okay with that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm okay with people being intense. Um, Not a problem at all. And I really appreciate this help coming from you. And if you remember, I've spoken to him, right? You were there as well,
You have spoken to Brother Maverick?
briefly. Yeah,
Oh, you came into one of my rooms before in the past whenever he was in?
that's correct. Yeah.
Oh, well, if you would have said something then, I could have got this going for you already. Goodness gracious. Yeah, God Logic and David Wood, because they're so big now, they've got a huge line of people that they probably already got listed up of who they're going to have discussions with. But if Brother Maverick speaks out for you, along with myself, and says, "Hey, this guy is cool. He's not going to lose his shiznit or anything like that. He just wants to have a talk," then they'll probably be open to it. Because some of the people they have on their list, they don't know what they're dealing with. They'd rather deal with a Muslim that can actually articulate, and you speak English really well, so that's another plus for you.
Mm,
That's good. I'm not talking down to you. I'm actually complimenting you. I hope you understand.
absolutely, I do. I do.
Okay. Yeah, some of the folks we've had in the rooms, we don't know what they're saying or what they're talking about. So it's really difficult to have a discussion. The language barrier, terrible, bad communication.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, English is a very, I should say, has grown to be a very strong communication tool, and the advancements and the concepts have become part and parcel of the language, the fabric of the English language, and it's so pronounced that it also is widely spoken, like in the entire world. So there's a lot of appeal for English speaking or English literature or English communication, mode of communication. So, and it's not the easiest of the things for people like me who come from a non-English speaking background to be able to master any of it, any of the elements of the language, whether it be even listening has its own difficulties, for example, and writing obviously comes with a great amount of effort, and speaking like the essentials is quite easy, so to speak, but articulating complex communication is always challenging, even in English. Like I've been speaking English for quite some time now, but it doesn't really come easy. It takes quite a lot for me to synthesize my neuronal pathways from how I think to my mother tongue. That happens naturally in me, but then I have to translate that internally and find words suitable to communicate into English. That comes a little harder. It's not a smooth flowing experience for
I
sure.
understand what you're saying, but you're clear enough to where I can understand you and comprehend you, and I think Brother Maverick will understand you just fine. Plus, he and I are the same in the sense that we're patient with people and we're willing to hear whatever you're wanting to say. He likes to allow the person to speak as long as they want, and then he unpackages what he thinks is wrong or critical. He'll agree with you on things if he feels like you're right about something, though.
Mm, mm, yeah, I've seen him. I've heard him. I've heard him when I had an interaction with him. He seemed to be listening and introspecting and contemplating. That was nice. It was a nice experience when I talked to him, although it was brief. But it certainly was a nice experience talking to him. And yeah, hopefully he would want to talk to me as well. So that'll be good. If he agrees, then we can have a good sort of a debate. Have you heard of my debate on TGT on Trinity?
I haven't got to hear all that yet, but I wanted to offer you a suggestion. There's been countless friends of mine who've tried to use this ninja program, and a lot of them have had some serious aggravation and problems with it, where they won't see or hear other people that are in the room. They won't even know somebody's in the room with them, and that's irritating as hell for fans and subscribers.
Yeah.
I would recommend going back to StreamYards or using Easy Mall, I think is how it's pronounced.
Mm,
StreamYards is the best, though.
mm, mm, mm. Okay, I might consider trying at least trying out a restream. We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Restream ain't bad. There's a bit of a lag to it. If people don't have good computers, it'll lag them. StreamYard and the easy one that I was talking about is probably the best for internet connection and communication.
So what is that? Did you say easy? Is it easy?
Uh, it's easy something. Let me take a look
Sure.
uh, in my podcast things. Oh, I don't even no longer have that one up there because I've been using StreamYard so well. Eh, well, I'll tell you what. What'll happen is once I talk to Brother Maverick, I'm absolutely sure he'll be more than happy to have a discussion with you and stuff, and you guys can go on for 3 hours if you want. I'll probably have it set up to StreamYards. That's pretty easy for you to understand how to get in, right? And talk.
Yeah, StreamYard is pretty good. Like it's pretty
Okay.
easy.
So I'll set something up. I'll schedule them in advance so you can hit notify on it. I'll give you the time and day. I'm seeing if he'll respond here in a little bit to me. He might be at work, but he's still got his phone with him, so he'll probably text me, let me know when a good day and time is. Then I'll tell you, I'll get it set up, and we'll do something over on Brett Keen Live. He will most likely want to copy the show and then put it on his channel, which, like I said, he's almost got 100,000 subs.
Yep.
This will, even if you feel like you didn't do great, a lot of people are going to see you, and you'll definitely end up getting a bunch of subscribers out of it.
Yep.
So there you go. That's the way to do it, man. That's the way to make it happen on the internet.
Yeah, it also takes good friends and good networking. It's YouTube is not the easiest of the platforms to get your word out because it's highly competitive, and the way YouTube functions is basically upon people's likes and dislikes. Like it really caters to that. It doesn't really count on the intelligent quotient of the content itself, but it really caters on what people like, basically. So,
Well, I believe that YouTube is automated. Since I've been around for a long time, before YouTube was bought by Google, it was really easy to get subscribers and views back in the day. I mean, I got almost 20,000 subscribers within a couple months being on YouTube. Unfortunately, because of their automated system, I think that nowadays it puts Muslims and Christians and Jews at the bottom of the barrel on the internet now, sad to say. I think YouTube's ran by godless people.
I kind of agree with you. I think in the day and age of AI, they could actually better, better reset their algorithms and sort of, I don't know, it all becomes difficult, but AI can do a really smart job at promoting content that's really the hot topic, or promoting content, certain types of contents to certain section of people, and really letting them know that there is this sort of content, despite the dislikes that some people might throw. I think using AI would be beneficial for YouTube, rather than the current algorithms they have, that really functions on just the mere likes and dislikes of people.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
just
I don't think that I think that when you're dealing with non-believers aren't going to want Islam or Christianity or Judaism to get any traction in social
gotcha.
media. And if they're in control of the button, they're going to make it to where it doesn't happen for you. I'm
Gotcha.
sorry. So the only way you're going to be able to pick up any steam is hanging out with the fools like me who get you connected with the right people. That's the way to do it.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. That's the way to do it as well. Yeah, for sure. So whereabouts in the states do you live? I mean, if you don't mind telling me on the internet. Oh, okay. I don't want to ask you this because I know that you have some problems. Yeah, but I don't want you to tell me those
Oh,
things.
it's fine. I live about 17 miles south of St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, Missouri. Okay.
I'm smack dab in the middle of hell.
Mm, sorry.
Yeah, you know what they call my state? Misery. Get it? Misery?
Missouri. America's a fabulous place for sure. Mhm. I kind of
Where'd
like
you
being
live
there.
originally? Where'd you live originally? What made you want to move up here into the States?
My work, basically. I went to North Dakota first time, and I experienced the bitter winter there, minus 40s,
Oof.
and then I had a chance to be in California for some time, San Diego. It was lovely being there. I miss it. I miss San Diego for sure. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Sounds like you liked it and said, I got to stick around here.
So Kansas City, Missouri, Atlanta. Where's Atlanta? Atlanta. Where is Atlanta, man?
My state's a
Georgia.
pretty decent size. I can't be bothered to remember every place that's in my state.
Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. So I landed, my first flight landed, I think it was landed in Atlanta. I had forgotten about it. And from Atlanta, we took a plane into Minneapolis. And that's when I had my first religious exchange on the plane with an American. From Atlanta into Minneapolis. And from Minneapolis, I took a small little birdie plane into North Dakota and landed in Jamestown.
All right, Brother Maverick has responded to me. He said, same day as always. He goes, Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays are my normal days, or he can just come right on my show. All right, that sounds good. We can, instead of me setting it all up, we can go directly over to his show. I'll just kind of sit back, say hello to you both, and introduce you all that, and then shut my pie hole, probably eat a Twinkie while you guys do your thing, all right?
So, what's the topic going to be?
Well, to be pretty much whatever you want. Here's how he does it. He'll say, all right, what's your name? And tell me a little bit about your theological position, a little bit about yourself. You'll say, I'm a Muslim, I believe in the Quran. And he'll
But
say, what
yeah,
are some of the points that you
did you
have?
give
And
him the impression that he already knows me and has spoken to me?
not really. He's like a lot of folks on the internet. If people hear Muslim or Christian or Jew, they pretty much they get a, how do I put this without it sounding rough? People kind of figure they know you once they hear what your view is. Does that make sense? It's called the pigeonhole effect.
Mm. I mean, I have his email for sure, and I've emailed him. He did not respond to me, but I'm sure. I mean, he would have no problems if I
Well,
if I.
hold on. He wants me to call him real quick. You'll probably hear him on the horn alongside me. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Here we go. Let me call him up. Can you hear that? Hey, brother Maverick, what you up to, guy? Well, I don't know if you remember, but you came into one of my chats a while back, and there was a guy called Prophet Daniel in there. He's a Muslim, and he's interested in having conversations with guys like yourself, God Logic, and David Wood. And I told him that you would be great to have a discussion with because you're very chill, open-minded, and very educated on things. So all I need is a time and day to bring him on your show. Well, let me ask him real quick. He's here. I don't know if you'll be able to hear him. Mr. Prophet Daniel, what would you like to do? Would you like to debate or have an open discussion with him?
Yeah, I don't mind any of those. He can take a call. He can make a call whether he wants to debate or have a discussion.
He says he doesn't mind whatever you want to do. If you want to have open discussion or debate, he'll do whatever you like on it. And he's very articulate. He's got a good microphone, so you won't have to worry about disturbing noises or anything. Yeah, he's his YouTube channel is Prophet Daniel, I think is what it is. What is it altogether, Mr.
Prophet Daniel has spoken.
Prophet Daniel has spoken is what he calls it. Well, you guys talked to each other briefly. You talked to each other briefly and seemed to get along just fine. Yeah, I think you guys will have a great discussion. He's not one of these folks that act like an orangutan. He wants to have a good discussion with you. Is Prophet Daniel? Do you remember talking to Brother Maverick
I
for a
do.
while in the past?
I do.
Okay, so all right. So when would be a good time that you're opening up a show again, so I can bring him in? No, I'll just sit back and chill and let you guys do the talking and all that. That sounds like a plan. So Sunday around 2 p.m. Central. All righty, sounds like a good plan, man. Be careful out there, all right? All right, see you later. God bless. All right, I'm still here. Did you get all that?
Yeah, it's going to be on Sunday.
Sunday, 2 p.m. Central. I'm in Central Time. I don't know where you're at just yet.
So Sunday, 2 p.m. Central Time. Just bear with me. Let me have a check here. Sunday, 2 p.m. Central Time.
If you have any friends or anything, you're welcome to bring them if you like. It is going to be on a show, though. It's going to be like this. When you come in, it's going to look like the Ninja software that you're using right now. He's like one of the few people I know that figured out how to get this thing to work. So you'll be used to it. You'll be accustomed, and you'll be put on the screen with him talking.
Mm,
Can I offer you a suggestion?
sure.
You should put a banner or something up on your video that tells what your YouTube channel is. I know you can't see my screen right now, but normally when I go into people's room, I have my YouTube channel plastered all over my video. That way people know where to find me.
Mm, 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 mm.
You got to know how to advertise, guy.
Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha. I get it. I get it. I get it. But you know what? Central Time 2 p.m. is going to be 4 a.m. in the morning for me.
Oof, that's rough, man.
Mm.
Well, it's up to you, Daniel. I'll show up over there at 2 p.m. and all that. If you want to do this will get you a lot of subscribers and viewers. You got an alarm clock?
Let's do it.
All right.
God willing,
Do you
yeah.
drink coffee or is it against your religion?
Sorry?
Do you drink coffee or is it against your religion?
No, I drink coffee, yeah. Just no alcohol, that's it.
There you go. Sounds
Yeah.
good. All right. 2 p.m. Central. Remember that.
So Sunday 2 p.m. Central. Okay, gotcha. Sunday 2 p.m. Central. So this coming Sunday 2 p.m. Central, right?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
So anybody ever asks, say Uncle Brady always hooks me up.
Mm, sure. I mean, I really thank you for doing this uh, f- favor or service, however you want to put it, in your humble terms as a Christian. I really appreciate it, and yeah, looking forward to joining. Um,
Sounds good. I'll probably be eating lunch and just sitting back, chilling, listening to you two gentlemen rock and roll.
mm, mm. Thank you so much, Brett, and I'll probably end my stream right now. And I really giving you a thumbs up for coming in and sharing time with me here. And we will see you Sunday, if not earlier than that.
No problem.
Have a good day, Brett. God bless you.
God bless you as well.